Hi, HVAC contractors. Have you noticed a dramatic decline in the number of organic calls you're getting from Google Maps? This is happening across the board in the HVAC industry, and it's a result of changes to Google's policy. So before you panic or think that your SEO has stopped working, let's look at what's happening, and let's also look at what you can do to insulate yourself from these changes. Okay, let's start by looking at one of our very successful clients who was always getting at least 100 calls a month just from their Google business profile. They have great reviews and invested for years in being the top HVAC contractor in their market. And then as you can see, over the last few months, they were steadily losing calls to their Google business profile. And we thought, what was happening? Because other factors were looking good. People were seeing their Google business profile more. They were getting more searches by their name and appearing in more search results. And moreover, they were getting more clicks to their website. In fact, they had 300% increase in clicks year on year during the same period. So what was happening? What we discovered is that Google has started making a change to eliminate the call button from organic listings. So if we're looking here and someone is doing a search for HVAC contractor near me, you're going to see that the sponsored listings, the local service ad listings, come up on top. Then there's the pay-per-click listings here. And then below, you have your organic Google business profile listings. But again, already a sponsored listing here. So you're already scrolling down pretty far before you even get to the listings. And we've found that over the last year, the number of listings that are coming up at the very top above the Google Map Pack has increased by about 5-fold. Why? Google wants to make more money and they want to extract more ad revenue from you. But that's not all. If you look here, you have on these local service ads listings, you have get a phone number. But when you go down here to the organic listings, no phone number is listed. What that means is Google has removed quietly the phone number from all of the organic Google listings. So someone has to actually go to your website or go to your Google business profile and take an extra step in order to call you. Now, they may still decide they want to choose you as their partner and they want to do business with you, but it does mean that you're going to be getting fewer calls directly from your Google business profile. The other change that Google has made is that you have this get a quote button. And so now people can reach out to several contractors at the same time through the local service ads to get multiple listings, and they can ask for a quote and so on, right? And so what that means is it's giving people more options, more paid options above your organic listings, right? And you can see here, Google's letting you even expand this list, right? On and on and on. I could get a lot of options before I would necessarily even need to go to Google Maps. And most customers aren't fully aware of the distinction between local service ads, pay-per-click, and organic listings. They see someone with a good set of reviews, 42 years in business, and they think, hey, that sounds good to me. I'll give them a call, right? And so what's going to happen is you're going to see over time there's going to be a significant erosion in those calls directly from your Google business profile. But that's not all. That's not the only thing that's changed. Of course, we also have Gemini, which is giving these AI overviews. So in some cases, if I search best HVAC contractors in San Diego, this is triggered here, an AI overview above the map, right? And so that also will erode your listings. And if you're not getting ranked in AI, that is going to be a real disadvantage. So what does this mean for you? We looked at data of between June 2025 and February across 8 representative clients, some as little as $1 million in revenue, some as large as $10 million across states, Florida, Seattle, Philadelphia, both hot weather states and cold weather states. And we asked ourselves, where is call volume going? And we found in aggregate, call volume was 43% of total leads from the Google business profile in June of 2025. That's gone down to about 30%. So what that means is that website clicks are up and calls are down. This is across the board. So what does that mean for you? And how can you combat that so that you can continue to get good organic leads? So let's talk about 6 things that you can do to combat this and make sure that you're continuing to get a lot of good leads. The first is that you need to start running Google local service ads. If Google is going to put those leads at the very top of search above Google Maps, you need to be there along with your competitors. And you're going to pay somewhere between $85 and $110 a lead on local service ads. But remember, if your average cost for a service appointment is $300 to $500 and you may get some installations out of that, which could be $10,000 or more, you're well going to make back your money. The second thing is you need to be optimizing for AI search to appear in ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity. This is an increasingly important area of your SEO strategy, and it requires you to have a lot of good reviews, great content on your website, to be publishing on social media regularly. It's all the same fundamentals that got you ranked on Google Maps in the first place, but just now on these AI engines. Because the kind of customers that are looking there are looking in an unfiltered way. They're not experiencing Google ads above those searches. And so you really can get straight to the customer. And they tend not to be tire kickers. They tend to be people who are very serious, value quality, and are ready to buy. So bypassing the new policy changes with Google by using AI search is going to be very, very important. The next thing is you're going to need to be focused on Google pay-per-click ads. Google wants you to pay to play. They want to see you paying in order to get those leads. And if you're not, you're increasingly not going to be there. So in order to capture particularly those high value installations, you're going to need to run Google pay-per-click ads. It is not as easy as running Google local service ads, but it can be even more profitable because you can scale to $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month profitably in monthly ad spend. And so the future of search, I think, is going to be won by people who, by HVAC contractors who master their Google pay-per-click ad strategy. The next thing is you're going to be needing to optimize your website and your ads for mobile first. People are searching for HVAC contractors on mobile, and when they're looking at Google Maps, all of those ads come up on top. More than 50% of search for HVAC contractors now is on mobile, and it's a much smaller screen. And so all those ads that are coming up above Google Maps are even easier to see, and people are more likely to click on those. So if you're not optimized for mobile, you're going to be losing out on that. Finally, because you're not going to be getting as many calls, you want to make sure that you're enabling messaging in your Google business profile. It gives you the option to do text messaging or WhatsApp messaging, and you want to make sure you do one or the other so that people can continue to communicate with you that way, even if there is no longer a call button on your organic Google Maps. If this all seems like, feel free to book a strategy session. I am happy to talk to you more and run through how to continue to get ranked locally in your market and make sure you are getting a lot of high value, profitable leads for your business. Thanks. See you in the next video.